Today we're going to be getting a little philosophical, motivational. We're going to get deep. We're going to be answering the question, how has YouTube changed our life? I'm going to share with you all our struggles, all our cons, all our pros, and all our successes. And the reason I'm sharing this, and I wanted to share this beautiful story that's incredible, is because I hope this motivates some of you guys out there that have a dream that you guys haven't chased. Or maybe you're mid chasing that dream, you just got started. And hopefully this is the fuel you need to keep on going. Our YouTube journey started over 3 years ago. It's been quite a long time. We've done over 300 videos. Now, since then, our life is completely different now since we first started. So in order for you guys to understand our YouTube journey, I need to take you back to the creation point when I said, wow, I really need to start a YouTube in order to make my mission successful. And from there, we're gonna build up to the now. You see, our YouTube journey first started when we were in the mountains of Nicaragua. You see these mountains back here? This is my family's coffee farm that we're working on rebuilding. And during one of the coffee seasons, because it's a coffee farm, we were harvesting coffee from the mountains, and I was watching the workers in the back. And they were pulling cherries, and it was raining heavy, it was muddy, and then they took these sacks where they were accumulating the cherries and they put it on their back, and they started to walk out of the mountains. And when they were walking out of the mountains, I really had the thought in my mind, and I said, wow, these people are amazing. These guys are the ones that make your daily cup of coffee possible. But then and there, I had a flashback to California. And I thought to myself, when we walk into coffee shops, no one knows what happens behind a cup of coffee. No one knows about the beautiful countries where the coffee comes from. And I said to myself, there has to be a way for us to share that, so people can see what we're doing out here in Nicaragua, so people can realize where their coffee comes from. And that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. I needed to start a YouTube channel and start sharing our story. And that thought was beautiful and everything, but I didn't know how difficult it was going to be. It's been very hard. I said it's gotten a little bit easier, but since after that thought, after that brainstorm I had when I was struck by lightning to start a YouTube channel out in the mountains to share all this, what we're doing here in Nicaragua, which is rebuilding a family coffee farm and showcasing behind a cup of coffee. Now the question became, how do you start a channel, and how is this gonna work? Is it actually gonna make a difference for our mission? So when I first had that realization, I thought that I was going to do one video a week the first year and be able to build a big audience. And let me tell you, it was incredibly difficult. One, I was very awkward on camera. Being on camera is hard. A lot of people, maybe comment below if you can relate to this, and I know a lot of people can, is that sometimes hearing your own voice is even cringe. You know, you don't want to hear your own voice on camera. Also, you don't want to see yourself on camera. So starting a YouTube channel meant that I had to be front facing the camera, and I had to be sharing my story, being vulnerable, being transparent. And the reason I'm sharing this, because if you're thinking about starting, you might have to put yourselves in the shoes if you want to go the route of sharing your story. You can also start other channels that you don't need to go too much into detail, but you're going to need to pass the barrier where you need to be comfortable on camera, sharing your story, also making videos. But I started with one video a week, and we were pushing hard. I remember editing used to take me 4 days for one video, an incredible amount of hours. It was just behind the computer, not knowing what I was doing. And at the end of the day, I didn't know if my videos sucked or not. And the reason I didn't know my videos sucked or not was because I showed it to my wife, Courtney, and she's my wife. She loves everything I do. So essentially the videos, she'll be like, oh my God, it's amazing. It might suck. It might be the worst video, but in her mind it's freaking amazing because it's our story, it's our mission, and it's our farm. But anyways, just with that feedback, I still kept pushing forward. And maybe that was the feedback I needed to ignore if it was bad, because she kept telling me the videos were good. So I kept going. It wasn't until around video 150 that it started to click a little bit more, and editing, the time came down to a smaller amount of time. And since then, we've been consistent. We've been pushing one video the past year a week, and this year we're gonna close with 2 videos a week. So what have I learned, and how has that changed our life? Let me tell you that when I first started YouTube, I didn't think that we were gonna be able to get the audience we have now. I wasn't aware of the level of the impact that YouTube could have in our farm. Since starting our channel, we've gotten so many messages of people sending us emails saying they love what they're doing, they love seeing Nicaragua, they love seeing the people behind the cup of coffee. And the bigger picture here, what ended up happening was that because we started sharing our story, we started sharing our journey, I have changed my whole mind on what we're doing with our business. Because originally, I wanted to plant a lot of coffee and sell green coffee to coffee roasters. But after seeing how beautiful the coffee producing country is of Nicaragua and the people behind it, I thought to myself, that's the last thing Nicaragua needs, which is a big coffee farm. What Nicaragua needs is someone to share their stories on YouTube and also someone to sell more coffee from other farms. So now that we've started sharing our story on YouTube, people started asking for coffee. They're like, where can I buy your coffee? Where can I get it? I want to support the mission. And from there, my mind shifted from planting a lot of coffee to eventually selling other people's coffee, other farmers, and sharing their stories. So that door was open through YouTube, and because we persevered through the first year and we stuck with YouTube to get to this point. So the impact it's had on us, it's been incredible. We've been able to go and open immensecoffee.com. So when people now view our videos, they're able to click and buy a bag. And then when they buy the bag, everything comes back into this channel. Essentially, our farm story has now gotten out to the world. Right now, as the channel sits, it's close to 100,000 people a month that view our channel. And that boggles my mind. Like if you were to picture 10 people, if you were to picture 100, and then you were to picture 1,000 people, and now 100,000, there's just so many people just watching the channel. And it's been an incredible, beautiful journey getting to entertain you guys and getting to showcase this. Now, everything in life is not always successful like that, right? We did have our challenges. We did have our moments of like questioning whether or not this was going to work, because YouTube, to be honest, is a hustle. Sticking to a schedule, one video a week, you have to make sure you have it planned, you have it edited on time, and you upload it on time, because that's what it takes to build a community. And for us to continuously do that with having a baby, our little boy Elliot, and then now we had another baby girl, which is Amelia, it's just been hard with the family, and plus trying to build this coffee farm out there. But let me tell you something that I realized during my YouTube journey is that if you stick through the thick and you continue to wake up every morning, you film that video when you don't want to film it, you edit it when you don't want to edit it, and then you upload it, then you will get better and you will persevere. So, and that's what's been happening to us. So if you have an idea, if you have a journey that you want to start, but you're scared of not knowing what you're doing is right or where to start, just make that first video. Just make that first step. Just take that and draw that first plan, because that's what it takes. It's laying that first brick and then show up the next morning and lay the second brick and lay the third brick. Because for us, when we first started making our first videos, from there, we realized that we can really open this up and hopefully build the channel as big as we can, so we can sell as much Nicaraguan coffee to showcase this beautiful country. You know, we're not there to those levels yet, but because we showed up every day and we laid that one brick, even when times were tough, we're getting there. And YouTube, it's sort of a whole career. It is a career, actually. You're gonna go through highs when your channels are getting a lot of views, and then you're gonna go through lows where you enter the valley of despair, where a lot of people quit their channel, and when you're just containing, sustaining your views, and you're like, oh man, where's those bumps of a lot of views, a lot of follows, a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of coffee sold? Where is that? You start questioning yourself, and then you start asking yourself, are the videos any good? Are the videos bad? Like, what am I doing different? And so in order to pass the valley of despair, the only way to do it is to keep marching forward. So that's what we've done. We've entered a few valleys of despair ourselves, over 300 videos. But I have to say that every time we enter now, we're kind of conscious and we're aware, and we're like, all right, this is like, we need to continue pushing forward and get through this hump, and how can we level up? So really, YouTube has been incredible. I've had people from Japan, people from Australia, Canada, Mexico, other parts of countries come and visit my farm. They see me online on YouTube and they message me, and they've come out and they've seen us rebuild this farm, do good in the community. In my mind, when I first moved to Nicaragua, we sold everything. I could have never imagined I'd have people from different parts of the world watching us online to come to the farm, let alone drink our coffee and helping us fuel this movement. So YouTube has drastically changed our life. It is incredibly blessings and blessed. I said that a little bit weird. It is so much of a blessing that we get to create on YouTube. And with YouTube though, because YouTube, you are your own boss, you have to be also ready to kind of not fall into the hustle trap, because now that I have to create videos, I'm always thinking like what video is next. So sometimes it's hard to rest, and sometimes it's hard to unplug. And that's something that comes along with being your own boss. And I think if you own your own business. Overall, it's been incredibly positive. And I hope that I motivated you to start your own channel, to run that marathon, to start that business. Whatever you want, please fuel your dreams. We only got one life, and you won't regret chasing something that you're gonna love.